Hello everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to talk about a new strategy. It's using the 1341 strategy, but with a couple. I added 4 additional indicators with this strategy of the 1348, and I found that this strategy, it helps a lot, and it helps in a way of, once you do the 1348 strategy, it helps you figure out when to pull out before the price starts going in a different direction. So it's using the same 1348 with a couple extra indicators. So if you want to do this strategy, number one, you would have to have the pro membership of TradingView, because you're going to be loading, if you follow this, you're going to be loading 4 extra indicators, 2 in which are free, 2 in which are paid indicators from Trade Confident, which I've talked about in previous videos. You don't necessarily need to do it this way, but I do it this way for myself to kind of help myself know when to get in and out after I do an option, and it helps with crypto too. But I'm gonna run it down real quick, the process of doing this strategy. So right now I'm going to just go back, and we're gonna do the first thing that I've really talked about. It's hard doing this on my phone, but I'm gonna make an update on my computer here pretty soon. But I don't really have a lot of room to show you with all these indicators. But anyway, the first thing you do, if you could tell, is do what I've talked about in the previous videos, which is the 1348. You look for the cross, either cross up or cross down, as you can see in the first upper top there. You look for the cross. That's the first thing you got to do. And so that before getting into any kind of trade with options or crypto or whatever, you want to ask yourself, is on that cross, did it cross in that direction? Now, the MACD, I just removed the histogram, so I focus on the lines. I don't focus on the histogram, but this is the MACD, and it makes it easier to see. So you got to ask yourself, when it crosses, did it cross earlier, before it crossed on up here at the top? Did it already cross in the MACD? That's what you got to look for. And you can see right here in the MACD, you can see that it did cross. It crossed here, and then it crossed on the 1348. So that signals to me that the pattern is going to start going in that direction. It confirms it for me. So what I would do after this point is I would put in, well, if I do an options, you're doing options. So I would come in with an option. In this example, you can't really tell because, but I would come in with a 355 call. Okay, so we had the MACD confirming that it already crossed. So as the option is going on, I look at the EMA difference, and now this is a free indicator, and what this basically is just a visual representation of the 1348 strategy. So how up here at the top you have the 1348 strategy. And it's okay, if you gotta, find the lines or whatever. But with the EMA difference indicator, which is free, you went into settings, and I changed the input to 1348, and it just made it more of a visual representation, and you'll be able to kind of tell, when it's going up and when it's going to start changing, when the direction is going to change. So if you notice on the EMA, right when the cross happens, you'll see that it starts turning green, bigger, lighter green. You'll stay in as long as it stays light green, but the moment it changes its color, that's really when you need to start getting out. Because you see, the moment that it turns into dark green, it starts turning into red. You see right there, it starts turning red, starts going down. In the upper corner, starts going down. So as this is going on as well, that's one confirmation right there. Looking at your EMA difference, you get in right here and you can get out right here. Okay, so the last two are paid indicators, and I'll put a link below if you want to check them out. They're buy trade confident, and what they basically do is the buyers and sellers. And I've made videos about these indicators before a while back. So what I'm going to do in my description is I'll give you guys the video where I talked about these indicators specifically, where I go over them separately. But the buyers versus sellers, once you're going in with your option, if you want to do options, really hard doing with just a phone. But anyway, you'll see right here. Now the buyers and sellers are to show you when people are buying and when people are selling. If the line is way at the top, people are continuing to buy into that stock or crypto. When you see the line start dipping, people are starting to sell that crypto. So when you have your option going on, there's another confirmation. Since we're looking for a call, if the line stays, if the line stays to the top, you know that people are continually buying into it. So you know that they're continually buying into that stock. So from here to here, we see where it crosses. We see the buyers and sellers. We see it continue to be in the top, not have any indication of any kind of decline, till we get right here. So this is another confirmation of the candles are going to start shifting down, because you see the buyers and sellers it's starting to dip. It's starting to dip lower from where it is. And then we got the price versus money flow, which is another indicator, which basically it's another paid indicator. I've talked about it before on another video. I'll put the link below if you guys want to check out me going into it more specifically. But if you notice, what the price versus whale money flow does is it shows you if the whales are buying and if whales are selling. Same thing with buyers and sellers. So we basically look for the cross, and then we keep our eye on the buyer, the price versus money flow. And while our option is going on, or if you're day trading or whatever, as long as the price money flow is in the upper top, just similar to the buyers versus sellers, you'll notice that your candles are still going in that direction. So when it starts declining, you can tell right about here, that's when the whales are starting to sell and the price is going to start going down. So you could tell with all of these indicators, you get kind of a double confirmation if you do this strategy. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do this twice, and we're going to see how accurate this is. The first thing you want to look for is the cross. You want to look for, now if you guys are doing options, you're going to be doing it this way. You're going to be just waiting. You're going to be waiting for a cross. But I'm just going back. Let's just rewind this a bit. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's just see. Now I'm on the 5 minutes, so we should be able to catch it. Let's see. Got a catch. Now I'm going to do this on my computer here pretty soon, because it's easier to see with these indicators. Okay, here we go. Right here we see a cross. So what we want to do is, from this information right here, from seeing the 1348 cross, I would do a 376 put. And this is SPY, by the way, and it's on the 5 minute. So you could do this for whatever time frame you want to do. But for the 5 minute, we see it crossing. So first thing we're going to ask ourselves is, does the MACD signal a cross before it? So we see that the MACD signaled a cross right here, and we see the crossing right here. So that this confirmation confirms to me that it's going to go in that direction. So next thing to do is, what I would do in this situation, I would put in my option. I'd put in my option, and then I would look at the EMA difference. We look at the EMA difference. And what we want to do when it's in the downtrend is we want it to be in the light red for as long as possible. So I would come in at this point and hold up until here. And we could tell that it's going to change direction because it goes from a light red to a dark red. You could tell right here. So let's look at the other confirmation. Let's look at the buyers and sellers. The buyers and sellers, come on, okay. The buyers and sellers, what we want to look for is after the cross, we want to look for it to be on the bottom. When we want to look for it to kind of stay at the bottom to see, you know, if it starts going up, you're going to know that people are starting to buy into it, and the price is going to change soon. So we can see from the cross that the line stays on the bottom until it reaches that point right here, the first green candle. You see the dark red candle, and you see the buyers and sellers start to go back up. That's your second confirmation to get out. Now let's look at the price versus money flow after. Now we see on the bottom here that it's relative on the bottom, and then we see it change direction right about there. So you can see that it starts to go back up. So you have about 3 confirmations using this strategy, when to get in and when to get out. It's really effective in my opinion. So in order to do this particular strategy, number one, you have to have at least the Pro Trading View account, unless you just want to turn on and off indicators, which is kind of annoying. And then these 2 paid indicators on the bottom, if you want to use them, the buyers versus sellers and the price versus money flow are paid indicators. I'll put a link below if you guys want to use those indicators. They're paid. I have talked about them in other videos. I'll put a link below if you guys want to check out those videos. But these are paid indicators. The only ones that are free are the EMAs, the MACD, and the EMA difference. Anyway, if you guys, I will be going more in depth with this strategy on my computer, because on my computer it's going to be a lot more easier to see. But anyway, if you guys like this strategy, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in future videos.